A warm welcome to dear students. I am Madhu Kamra from Department of English, Durga Mahavidyalaya, Raipur, affiliated to Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur CG, with my learning session on Michael Foucault's What is an Author? Michael Foucault was a post-structuralist thinker and he lived from a period 1926 to 1984. So, before I move forward, let me explain what does a post-structuralist imply. Post-structuralism signifies the movement in philosophy in the early 60s and lasted until late 70s. Post-structuralists replaced author with the reader in textual analysis. They also examined other sources for meaning, example, readers, source of meaning, then cultural norms. Remember students, structuralism as a literary theory studied the underlying structure of a text, whereas post-structuralists rejected the self-sufficiency of such structures, relating it to danger like proliferation. Nevertheless, post-structuralism is a response to structuralism, and we have authors like theorists like Derrida, Lacan, Julia Kristeva and Barthes related to them. So, Michael Foucault is a post-structuralist thinker. He is not a literary theorist like Barthes, theorist of history, and his discourses encompass philosophy, sociology, literature, history, phenomenology, Marx and Freud. He revolutionized system of thoughts and he sought to herald a post-authorial culture. And then the last is Ian Burke's The Death and the Return of Author, which appeared in 1992, re-announced the demise of the author, whereby you find it becomes all the more pertinent why to read Michael Foucault. Now, coming to Michael Foucault's major works, we have Death and the Labyrinth, which appeared in 1963, The Order of Things, which appeared in 1966, The Archaeology of Knowledge in 1969, and Madness and Civilization, which appeared in 1961. Now, it is important to put Barthes and Foucault side by side in order to study as to what made Foucault write this essay, What is an Author, in the year 1969. Prior to this, we had another brief essay from Barthes, Ronald Barthes, who was a French social and literary critic, very prominent structuralist voice of the 20th century. And he is the one who had raised a debate on authorship. He initiated a text-centered approach to knowledge and established the notion that text is fluid in meaning, hence open to interpretation. He also said that the author is a scripter. The author is a scripter. To Barthes, if author is the father, then mother is the forces which work on it, and he identified three forces. First is race and history, second is conventional criticism, and third is work produced, which marks a new paradigm shift. Now, focus is on viewers' experience. Let us see Michael Foucault. He questions the role of the author and why is he required. This we shall see later in the following slides as we proceed with the explanation. Foucault gently avoids Barthes in initiating his purpose, so much so that you find that he is not directly labeled. And then Foucault turned the who label to what. So, the title is not who is an author. It does not say who is an author. Rather, it says what is an author, heralding author anonymity named by Samuel Beckett, who in his play Waiting for Godot says, what matters who is speaking. Now, it is also important to see the difference between the two essays, that is Death of an Author, which appeared in 1967, and this appeared in 1969. Here, Barthes' concept is limited to the idea of literature and literary criticism. That is, the expanse is narrow. It has a narrow expanse, narrow in expanse. Whereas you find that what is an author is a strong stress on the concept which was formulated by Barthes, who said that the birth of the reader must be at the cost of the death of the author. So, death of the author was first announced by Ronald Barthes, and Barthes criticized the author figure. Now, students, this is something which is very important. By associating the author figure to the text, the meaning of the text is narrowed and is made limited. The author figure, who traditionally restricted the reader in trying to guess what the author meant, is now missing, because now the author does not express anymore. Now, Foucault encompasses literature as well as non-fictional domains of writing. Here he talks also of philosophy, he talks about history, he talks about sociology, and also Marxism. So, what is an author problematizes the debate, making the author a site of inquiry. This we will see in the following slides. Now, let us see what are the similarities between the two essays that we are now focusing upon. What is an author and death of an author? So, both renewed and emphasized the contested relationship between the author and the text now. That is, who supersedes what? In a text, language speaks and not the author. So, they claim that the status of the reader stands elevated now.